we should be live. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
And welcome to another exciting session of Crown of the Tyrant Queen.
Hey, don't sell it too hot. I don't know if it's gonna be exciting or not.
Oh, okay.
He's just saying
Hopefully
that
you'll-
so that Hasbro doesn't steal his ideas again.
What? No, that's stupid. Who rebuilt the dragons with half of the ideas they had for dragons and came up with stat blocks for Archfey that are eerily similar to what they came up for the Archhag. That never happened.
Telling you, man, I think your computer is hacked.
Yeah, I know. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, so last time I forgot we didn't do recaps. This time we're not doing a recap. So you have traversed the river that was barring your path to this large 3 abode of this Margret you've heard about. And currently, you're standing on the shore, and in the distance, you can see the place you are trying to get to. This large tree that has been carved and seems to have grown into this large abode. What do you do?
I'm assuming this is it. And Gil's just gonna kind of glance over to Ray.
That's what I've heard anyway.
Oh, I certainly hope it's considering that I got dragged across the river to get here.
Oh yeah, the only non-flyer got waterlogged.
About to say,
You didn't
most of the
wait.
party traversed the river. One of us forded it.
You didn't explain what you were doing.
Still didn't wait.
Or what? You playing with mushroom circles?
Wait, you don't recognize like a magical mushroom circle when you see one?
You know, just watching this entire scenario happen just a moment ago
Correction.
was rather amusing.
Correction. They were mushroom runes, not mushroom circles. Like, get it right.
All right,
Yeah.
fuck off, war boss.
Gil's not going to get it correct because he's Gil.
Yeah, I know. I was telling Gil to get it correct, not you, Sai. You're good. But it's been a week. It's been a week. It's okay for you to get it wrong. For Gil, it's been 10 minutes. He shouldn't. And I don't give Kerb any leeway. Fuck Kerb.
Wow.
He's supposed to be amazing. He doesn't get a pass. Anyway, so
High bar.
yeah.
You know what? It's fine. We're across the river. I'll just have to live with being soaked with swamp water in this. So let's just get this done.
We'll make our way towards the entrance, quote unquote.
So the I'm guessing very, very strongly that everyone can see the image I put in front.
Mm-hmm.
I need to I need to start giving. What was it? Give me a second.
Your second is
Give
up.
me a fuck you.
A midi second.
I
Yeah,
define
midi
those, and it's
second.
over now.
No, Middy's had enough Middy seconds today. She doesn't get any more. She spent the entire budget of them.
Okay, so yeah, you approach this house, half castle, half tree. It's very strange. It looks like there are pieces that are carved into the tree, pieces where it looks the tree grew around, and pieces that seem like they were built on the tree, but nothing looks like it was built out of sequence, or there aren't parts that look older and parts that look newer. So it looks both like a tree grew around it, like it was carved in the tree, and like it was built around the tree, but none of it looks like it was made before anything else. It seems like it was all made at the same time, which makes absolutely no sense. But as far as you're aware, as far as you can see, that's what seems to have happened. Which is strange. And you approach. You have like, as I said, this is a swamp. So though you've passed the river, there are still kind of sections that are water, and you have like a little wooden section you can walk through to get all the way up to the entrance of this three home. I hesitate calling it a tree house because that's not what it is, but
It's not a tree house, it's a tree home.
well,
Oh my
in
God.
the notes it's called an abode.
Don't you mean an arbode?
Oh,
Arbode, yes.
Ah, that's a good one.
Welcome to my Arbode.
Weird fucking tree. Is this the bark or the door? Gil's just gonna knock on the bark door.
Knock on wood.
Hey-oh.
You're gonna knock on wood.
Then he knocks on the door, which is coincidentally also wood.
Hi there, I'm buried the door. No, it's not.
God, no.
Oh god, it's cursed. Alright, lights it on fire.
I do know
All
fireball.
right, so with a creaking noise, the door opens on its own, and an old, reedy voice comes out from inside the house, home, abode, Arbode, saying, "1 minute, you can come inside."
Do you want us to wait out here, or do you want us to wait inside? I'm confused.
Come inside. Yeah, I'll be a minute.
Okay. He's gonna just look to the rest of the party and slowly make his way inside.
She said we could go in. I assume it's fine. And I
Fine.
followed.
Are you? No. Are you sure about this? It's.
We can leave if you want. It'll just be.
Well, by all means.
I mean, it's-
Look. No. Look.
Look,
I've
I did
had
not get
bad
dragged across this river just to walk away. Go inside.
Fine. Just be careful. It's a hag. I've had bad experience with hags.
It's a bit rude, don't you think?
I mean, yeah, she sounds old, but you can't just call people hags like that.
She just swears. That is not what I'm talking about.
Besides,
All
out of
right,
everyone here, you're the one that's actually lived in a treehouse before.
Kind of puts hers to shame, to be honest.
From the
You think it's
distance,
jealousy?
not. Oh, go ahead. Do your thing.
You know what? If it were in character, she'd be giving the bird right now.
I mean, at the very least, the foyer seems to be actually, clean.
Organized? Yeah.
Oh, yes, the inside. Maybe I should start describing that. So, the inside of the home is kind of this rustic. Everything is made out of wood, and once more, not everything is made out of wood. Once again, everything is like these three things put together. There are chairs that look like they're made completely like separate from the tree. There are certain section of furniture that seem to be grown from the ground and rooted into like the floor. It's kind of like this weird dichotomy of construction and growth that are just kind of mixed together in this house. But everything is like beautiful, varnished, polished. Like you're not gonna get a splinter, and also there's no like there's no stuff lying about, and just kind of everything is well organized. There's you come by a little bookcase while you're coming inside at the entrance of the house, which is weird, like a bookcase at the entrance, but like all the books are all set up, and they seem to be well like sorted and everything. And as you enter, to your right, you see what seems to be kind of like a not a dining room. The word escapes me, but like there are a few comfortable couches, a table at the center. It's kind of a place to relax and
living room.
Well, essentially a living room. And from the back of the from further into the home, you hear, would you like tea and biscuits? I'll bring biscuits. Would you like tea?
I generally prefer coffee, but I'm not going to turn down a hot cup of tea right now.
I have coffee. Just give me 1 second. What about the others?
I suppose it depends on what kind of tea.
What do you need?
Oh, I was not expecting to get this far.
I don't know. I didn't expect to get this far.
I have green teas, black teas, berry teas for the ones who like it, like them fruity. I have frog teas.
I suppose could I get a black tea with a hint of fruit?
Yes, of course. Anyone else?
It works for me, I suppose.
Yeah,
Black tea
sure.
as well. All right. She you hear like the creaking of feet on the on the wooden floors, and a few minutes later, sorry, I don't want to burp in my microphone. So a few minutes later, a plate of biscuits just kind of flies into the room, sort of glides, and just kind of deposits itself on the table in front of you all. And then the same happens with multiple teacups. The teacups come into the room and seem to rotate around, locating their drinker. And then you have just kind of like the tea sets just kind of floating about and setting themselves down in front of the people to which they were assigned.
Okay. Weird
And-
shit. All right.
And then finally, an old woman, who aged gracefully, let's call it that. She is clearly old. She has like white hair. Her skin is marked by age, but she's not like crumpled face. She has like
Very golden.
she's
girl energy.
clearly mature, but she does she remains she remains a beautiful old woman.
So very elegant.
Elegant, yes, is a good word for it. And she comes in with the cup of coffee and says, I'm sorry, my cups don't know coffee like they know tea. It couldn't come on its own. And she deposits the coffee cup in front of you.
Well, that's fine. It's a hot cup of coffee. All I need right now.
She nods and just kind of walks to one side of the room that, like, you're all sitting around the table. There are some cushions, some chairs, and you've picked all the chairs that are available. So what she's going to do is she's going to go to the other side of the table to be able to look at all of you, and she's going to sit down. And as she sits down, a wooden chair grows from the tree bark that is on the floor, and just kind of, as she sits, it just kind of settles into place.
What the fuck?
And she says, "So, what can Margaret do for you?"
Well, I suppose the there's no need to beat around the bush. We're here looking for one of the dragons in the area. We've gotten word that it might have been fighting the local black dragon, and we're hoping that
Dreadful thing, that black dragon. Quite a pain.
Well, the one we're looking for isn't black per se, but topaz, I believe.
A topaz? I remember a young worm coming to my doorstep and introducing themselves. A good lad. The young boy came and asked for some advice. I haven't heard from him since. Just to be clear, like you know that the topaz dragon is at least like young or adult, so he's around like 100 years old, and yeah, so that's important. I can't exactly tell you where he is. This is a... But you say that he has fought with the dreadful Black?
At the very least, we've heard rumors as such.
So what do you want from me, then?
Well, we've heard that the dragon in the local swamp here can get a bit temperamental if we don't use their actual name.
Yes. So you're hoping to learn of their current designation, yes?
Well, Ray here seems to think that you're the most informed person in the swamp. That you would be the one to ask if anyone were to know what they're currently going by.
I am the most well informed in the swamp. That is true. And what will you give me for this information? She leans forward and just kind of steeples her fingers.
I feel like I'm gonna regret asking, but what exactly do you want?
Oh, I want many things. Mostly, I want what you think the information you want is worth. I seek not gold, items, and material things. I prefer to deal in more esoteric things.
From the way you're talking about it, it sounds like you're not super thrilled with the black dragon in the area.
He's like an annoying neighbor. I don't hate him. It's just... he's annoying.
Well...
Yeah.
Frankly, he's... most of the time, he's beneath my notice. An adult black dragon is no thing to be concerned about.
Well... that is at the very least something we could potentially help with.
Don't get me wrong, Goldling. But... you don't seem to be at a level where I can trust you to defeat my dreaded neighbor. A biscuit? She leans forward and grabs the plate of biscuits and pushes it forward for you to grab one, if you wish. Those are free.
Sure. Bill's gonna grab one.
Alright, cool.
You say you want more esoteric stuff, but, like, what do you mean?
Anything.
Saying this more to the
She-
group than I am to the hag. I have a pearl of power that I've literally never used.
She grins.
I mean, if you want to offer it, I'm not gonna be opposed. It's yours to offer.
As I said, I seek not magical items and doohickeys and those weird things.
So then how about a serenade?
A song
A
in
what?
her name.
Yeah.
A song in my name. I don't know if I'm still the young beauty I once was to inspire such tunes.
Would you like
She
an
cackles.
example then?
How do you think epic's going to
Sure.
be?
From what I'm gathering, like 60s to 70s, kind of.
So, would I make a performance throw?
Yeah, sure.
Remember, eggs are in demand.
She looks at you and says, "That would pay for your part."
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh, okay,
Oh
cool.
my god!
Well,
So a 30. She's gonna like it, which is good. Hecate, I have a question for you.
yeah.
Let me go into your sheet real quick.
Oh boy.
You've offered her a song, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me go into your sheet.
Oh god, he takes away my accordion.
You're using your accordion.
You become a fighter.
Oh no! I have a flute, a viol, and a drum.
Okay, a flute, viol, and drum. Okay, I'm gonna ask, which of these proficiencies do you use for this specific song?
Well, currently, the only tool I have apparently in my inventory besides the accordion would probably be the viol.
Okay, cool. So you use your violin?
Yeah.
Okay, so you make a beautiful song with your viol, and she claps her hands and says, "What a wonderful song! Thank you. You have paid your tribute. Thank you. Now, what of all of you? What will you offer this old woman for her aid?"
I mean, you say you like esoteric things, but like, what kind of esoteric things do you like actually like?
Well, you've heard the stories. Some of my kind enjoy collecting the names of other people. Firstborn children, those are good. But I don't really see a point. But that's the kind of things often bargained. I've had a man come to my door bargaining for half of their life. She shrugs. Also, Tony, I don't know if you noticed, but you're no longer proficient with the viol.
Yeah, I saw that. That's why I'm like, let me just use an instrument with my,
Let's not use the accordion.
yeah.
That's why I was like, the accordion, are you sure? I didn't want to, like, fuck you over.
Yeah, no, I had a feeling, so I was like, I suppose
Yeah.
Hecate, like, takes another, like, quick strum to make sure everything's still in tune, and everything just sounds like a little twang, rather than an actual strum.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you
He's like,
lost all of your
"What?
muscle memory.
What? What just happened?" And he kind of looks at the party, and he's, doing the regular strumming that he did earlier, and it just something about it just does not sound right.
Yeah, and she says, "Well, my dear, you gave me your VL song. I have it now."
I did warn you.
What? Why does this remind me of a certain mermaid losing their voice?
Oh, I did. That's a good one. Voice. Yes, very esoteric.
No.
Kind of like glance at that eye.
So, what about you? You've lived for a very long time. She turns to I. What would you bargain for the knowledge you seek?
I have made deals with your kind before, and I do not. I do not like making these kinds of deals. It's.
Understand, young lass. It's simply that since all of you will benefit from the information I will share, I need all of you to pitch in. Simple, really.
Well, I suppose I can play other instruments, so this isn't entirely awful.
I'm sure your talents will be used in many ways. Losing but one avenue is not so bad. And I've always so wanted to learn the viol.
You're
Never had the
you're
time.
welcome, I suppose.
She nods. I'm gonna go into her sheet and add proficiency in viol to her things. I kind of forgot. You're right. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. I don't know where to add that on the monster sheet. I'll add it in your biography or something. Well, you've learned of the ways and potential things you can bargain with me for. I don't have all day. Come on. Go ahead.
So in a way, whoever was carving their stones or wooden figures, if they gave that, they would lose the ability to carve.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Possibly, yeah.
Not to downplay.
As she said, she doesn't want the item.
No, she wants the talent.
Not to downplay our interest in this information, but each of us offering something for a single name still doesn't necessarily seem like a fair exchange.
To be quite frank, it sounds a bit like a ripoff.
All right. Choose two of you who will not have to pay.
I think I is definitely taking one of those.
Yeah.
I do not like the idea of it. I'm sorry.
I
And-
unfortunately volunteered myself, so...
Yeah, I was about to say, Hecate already technically paid, so don't need to worry about that. Kind of glances to Ray and Herrick.
Okay, she's just gonna turn to you, Gil, and say, "What about one of your eyes? Not those ones, not the ones in your head. The true eye." Burnished and slitted. Beautiful, really? You wouldn't miss it while you're in this farm.
Gil kind of ponders for a moment. I don't know about that. I feel like that might be somewhat important for the future.
She shrugs.
Well, how far ahead of a future are we talking here?
That is a good point. Gil just kind of gets a distant look.
Could we supposedly, he leans in to Gil, could we supposedly find a way to get our abilities back in the future?
Gil doesn't seem to be paying attention at the moment. So if
Hecate, I don't know how to tell you this, but the deal I made back then, I still haven't found what I lost.
Well, there's nothing stopping you from relearning the art from the beginning.
It wasn't an art.
Oh, I was speaking to the young bard.
Oh, very well.
But you've piqued my curiosity. I would count it as one payment if you explain to me what you've lost. I'm curious.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to pass on that. Because I forgot what I paid.
Oh, no.
Oh, fucking hell, man. Good work. I'm giving you an out. And
Look, I
you
just
can't
remember
even
she
take
did.
it.
I just remember she did a thing with a hag in Icewind Dale.
I
That's
remember
it.
that I forget something, but I can't remember what I've forgotten.
I mean, could I explain that though? In that pass?
Good work, Neville. Anyway,
Yes.
so
Yeah, Double
Um,
D, an elephant never forgets, but I forgot what the elephant was supposed to remember.
There's the other reference, yeah.
how about I could always use the help of a gold one. How about you offer me? And she just kind of snaps her fingers, and a little token, a little gold token with a scale pattern appears in her fingers. A favor for me to cash in at an opportune time. You can put some limits on the favor, like I won't kill anyone, or I won't steal anything that's owned by someone else, and some such.
So we're making a supposed contract of sorts.
I don't necessarily like being indebted to people, but what about my ancient years?
Your what?
My ancient years.
Also, I do want to say, just I don't want to metagame too much, but you do want to play a backup character at some point. So if you're giving me an excuse as a favor to this hag to bench your character for a bit, that might be helpful.
We'll figure something out.
If
it's
you
fine.
want.
Gil's
I mean,
not
I just
really
can't
one
play
to
a
take that
violin.
kind of deal.
I'm fine with this.
So your ancient years. So what would that? What are you? envisioning when you're saying you're gonna bargain away your ancient years?
Basically, a significant portion of his lifespan.
Okay.
Cause, yeah, no, as Hecate mentioned, it's like, how much of a time span are we talking? Cause there's an entire, there's a very big uncertainty about that kind of stuff.
Oh.
I mean, considering that most of you guys have more of a longevity with your races and makes compared to the Birdman.
Mm-hmm. Well, you could give me a few of your ears, but they're not as valuable when they're so plentiful. I could use a few centuries.
Poor Hecate's eyes just go wide at that statement. Centuries? You mean to tell me that you may or may not be around a lot longer than I initially thought?
Who are you referring to, her or me? Either way, the answer is yes.
Yes.
Well, to be clear, this one, if everything goes according to plan, will live through your lifespan and perhaps 50 more. I will live until someone slays me.
Gil kind of... or not Gil. Hecate kind of looks at Gil and just has a look on his face saying, like, I want
shit?
my ability back.
Better fucking start practicing with the viola again then, bitch.
I think this is one of the rare times where, like, Gil just hasn't been the oldest thing in the room.
True. Other time being the Great Worm Council.
Yep.
Or any time Az decides to speak.
Yeah. But yeah, no, is that
So I says that they are one of the people who are not paying. So I need either
Ray or Herrick?
either well, Rhea's a guide and she's not really the one who's benefiting from this. So from a Fey bargaining point of view, she's not benefiting from this, so she doesn't have to pay.
That's nice.
It's your quest, not hers. So either you or Herrick can offer something.
I mean, if she'll
What
take the
about
lifespan,
you?
that's what Gil's offering, but yeah.
But she's going to still ask, what about you? You look like a strapping young lad. What about your firstborn?
Oh,
I don't know if I'd buy into that.
bold of you to assume that this dragon is family oriented at the moment.
As I've said, going to live until I'm slain at the moment is not something I'm very worried about. And if they choose to never have children, then that's a loss I'm willing to take.
I have precious few hopes of living a regular, normal life as it is. I'm not so sure I'd be so willing to give one of them up over a black dragon of all things.
She chuckles. All right. Well then, I guess I don't really have a choice. I'll take the years. Jill, roll a d12.
I was gonna joke it's gonna be a
Wow.
12, but
1,200 years, Jill.
whoa,
1,200 years.
Jesus.
dang.
One time high rolls do bad.
Gil, the
That just means Gil would have That just means Gil would have lived a long fucking time.
Well, Gil, like the lifespan you can expect of like a gold dragon is like 4,000 something years. Now you were about what? You were at least an adult coming in on ancient when you got transformed into a human. So that's like around 700-800 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then you lived for like 1,200 years. So let's say you're like 2,000 years old. You just
I
learned.
actually have it written
you
down,
just-
I think. Give me a sec.
You just lost about maybe 60% of what you've got left. Something along those lines.
Yep.
You do feel like the a certain energy leave your body as the hag closes her fingers together and pinches on a little ball of energy that shines golden, and then she just kind of looks at it, sniffs it, and pops it in.
I have it written down as 944 currently, but yeah, we can mess around with that later.
We'll mess around with that later because
Because I was figuring like 2 to 3 centuries was when he would have gotten transformed, and then it would have been like 600 years.
Okay. But like you
I
were,
think it was 200 at the start of Crown, or Tyranny of Dragons, like when I started.
because
with
like
Gil.
Tiamat has been out of the elves for about 800 years. So at
Okay,
least
closer
it's
to
at least
1100.
that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's good.
Even
so you're
still,
young.
yeah.
So you're young for dragon purposes. Well, now you're essentially 2,000 something years old,
Mm-hmm.
mechanically speaking. Okay, so all right, so she just kind of moves it around and says, spicy.
I didn't realize
Alright.
age had a taste.
Alright. For your part of the deal.
She nods and closes her eyes and begins to write some runes in the air. As you've said, the Black Dragon goes by many names. His true name is Verdan. I'm going to copy paste that so that you have the name. His name is Verdan, and he goes by the epithet Dreadwing. As I've said, dreadful. She chuckles. He is quite prideful, and two of his points of pride are his wings and his horns. Complementing either might help you de-escalate the situation if you were to ever find yourself in one where he seems to be getting angered. He lives southwest, of here, about 1 day's journey across the swamp. He is, like many other black dragons, he prefers to live in some place of broken down civilization. There's a tower in the swamps where he dwells, a tower he destroyed, which is another point of pride for him. For there lived a necromancer who now lies dead in his tower. You've given me quite a lot, so if you have anything else you would want to ask of me, something small of course, I could give an answer.
Why does he reside in the Fell Empire as opposed to the Queendom?
That is a good question. Well, as far as I'm aware, Verdan in his youth had a indication with a dragon much older than he is. He courted one of what is this word? I'm sorry guys, I'm looking for a word.
All good.
And clutch. That's like a clutch that when you have multiple kids, right?
Yeah.
Like when
Yep.
like in
Yeah,
okay.
like multiple
So,
eggs, kind of like.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He courted one of Null's clutch and broke her heart.
Sounds like some juicy drama
Interesting.
there.
I'd stay away
Well,
too.
she's gotten over him by now, but Null doesn't forget, nor does he forgive. Or if so, he does so very rarely.
That is an interesting bit of knowledge.
If perhaps it could be used in some way to negotiate with the worm if you were to pull on that lever. But that is for you to decide. Very well. You have given me payment, and I have returned with information on who Verdan is. I would suggest using his epithet if you wish to flatter him. If you wish to intimidate him, use his name. At your risk, of course. Verdan is a very prideful worm.
Aren't they all?
Well, lucky for you, he's also a bit of an idiot. So.
Well, that's putting that bluntly.
Gil looks pointedly at Eric, not saying the same thing again, but implying it.
I mean, if he pissed off Null in the past, then yeah, he's not too smart.
Would only mention Null as a last resort, because even if it gets him off your back, he won't be motivated to help you if he knew you were related.
Well, maybe things will go nice and he'll behave himself. It probably won't. One can
Yeah.
hope.
Either way.
Hecate, make sure you don't insult him, please.
Maybe we should have offered up Hecate's insults.
Cat,
Ooh!
that's
Yes! I have quite an appetite for someone's best joke.
I mean, would we really want to do that? If we do that, what is Hecate gonna do in combat? Play the violin? Oh, wait, nope, we're not gonna play the violin anymore.
She chuckles and takes a sip of her tea. Is anyone else drinking or eating the biscuits?
I mean, Herrick has absolutely been drinking the coffee.
Okay, yeah, Herrick, make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy.
Boy.
Yeah. Gil probably would have been as well. He doesn't know.
Okay. Everyone who's been drinking or eating, make me a wisdom saving throw.
I did not.
Yes, I had a feeling that you were not partaking in the drinks and biscuits.
Does Ray know better? Probably. Did she drink
boy.
anyway?
Ray,
Probably.
Ray, if
I
you
feel like she
if
knows,
you
but
knew, you probably would have told them.
that's
And
true.
probably the thing is that
I'm more
every
Empire
time you've
State trained
come,
up, so yeah.
anytime you've met with Margaret, if you have, It's not necessarily something that would have come up. So yeah, so I'm going to ask.
Hmm.
I'm missing a wisdom save.
Well, I
From
need
Harry.
to double check. Is this a charm in any way?
Do you have advantage on charms?
Well, I have
No.
disadvantage on charm, but my scaled ornament cancels that out. So I just need to know if I'm rolling straight or if I'm rolling with advantage. Oh wait,
Yeah.
actually, hold on.
I'm just gonna roll. I would agree.
Oh wait, never mind. I just can't be charmed.
I'm fine.
I forgot.
Yep, scaled
Okay.
ornament
Okay.
I
good.
forgot. Scaled ornament just stops charms.
I
Okay.
realize I am
Um,
Fae, but I did not experience. I've not been exposed to Fae stuff since I was little. So yeah, I probably drank the tea.
You're fine.
So
though.
I
Yeah,
guess
you drank the tea, but you definitely have advantage, and even if you don't, that's a natural 20, so you're good.
Yeah.
so. I guess like, is it a charm? Because if it's not, then I actually
I
roll.
need to double check something. This is hag magic, so usually it's kind of like a completely different thing, but I guess you could consider it charm. I'll just double check.
I mean, also in that vein, if it is a charm effect, everyone within 30 feet of me does have advantage.
Ooh, neat.
All right, just give me a second. I need to double check something.
Mhm.
I'm reading the spell right now, and usually when it's a spell that charms, it either says it's charmed or informs me that someone with charm is immune to charm, is immune to the effects of the spell. I'm looking at it, and it doesn't look like it's saying that. I'm just gonna reread it to be sure.
All right, well, I'll roll wisdom save throw regardless.
Mm-hmm.
10.
Damn. Straight roll, Herrick and Gil riding together.
Okay. An affected creature is a
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, it doesn't seem like it says anything about charm. Okay, so she will ask, so, for what reason do you seek this dragon? I'm curious.
I mean, like we said, we're looking for the topaz dragon.
No, I'm asking why you're looking for this topaz dragon.
Because it has something we need.
It's probably more pleasant to deal with than Mr. Black. I might be biased, but
She nods. Ah, so looking for an artifact of some sort. Interesting. I suspect you do you know what the item is? Or is it simply that you do not wish to divulge that information?
That is an oddly specific question. Why does it interest you so much?
Anyone who is willing to come to my doorstep and ask for my aid despite knowing the steep price of my help must come here for good reason.
Well, to be
Or
fair,
be
we
a
didn't
foolish
know the
idiot.
steep price.
Everyone just kind of glances at Ray.
Hey,
She
Didn't have to tell us
chuckles and says, "Well, had you decided you did not want to pay the price, I would not have held you in here. I'm not a jail keeper. This is an abode."
Oh, that's good. I hate jails. Awful places, really.
So, do you know what the item is or not?
Yes.
She chuckles. Well, fair enough, if you wish to be coy.
It's one of the few things I have going for me these days.
Alright, she nods and says, "Well, if you wish to rest, I have some rooms upstairs. If you wish to keep going on your way, then, as I've said, southwest is where you wish to go. If you want to find the Black Dragon."
Yeah, I'd prefer to get on the road as soon as possible.
Do the rooms cost anything extra?
No, you've paid all you need.
Only your dreams.
Don't know if you'd want those. Actually, you know what? Funny.
No, I think we should be heading out.
It's interesting. Okay, cool. All right. So you begin to make your way out of the home of Margaret, and Margaret stops you, Rhea, as you're leaving, and she says, "Be careful, dearie. If you follow these troublemakers around, you'll find yourself in plenty of pickles."
Thank you for the warning.
"Especially that one," she says, glaring at Gil's back.
Gil, the professional pickle maker.
He's a magnet, that one.
No fucking kidding.
It hasn't been that bad so far, but thank you for the heads up
Except for the Death Knight.
and what you're aiming to do, but you know, that's fine. Not so bad so far.
All right. So she nods and pats you on the head and says, You're a good lass, Rhea. Go. Have fun.
Thanks. And
She
I'm off.
waves you goodbye.
All right, we're making our way.
All right, as you leave, she just kind of waves at all of you and says, "Don't be strangers if you ever need anything else." Well, you know the price now. Don't be shy.
Oh,
And
no
then she
worries.
walks back
Koi
into.
instead.
All right.
Oh,
So you begin to walk away from the beautiful arbode.
Arbode.
Beautiful arbode. That's what it's called now. It's an arbode.
I see what you mean now.
You had to roll maximum on that fucking dice.
Of course I did.
So, like, giving up years like that, does that, like, technically make you older?
I don't know. That or I die younger, I guess.
Yeah, I think I have to say I'm sorry. I knew she was the person to go to information, but people are kind of cagey, I guess, if they make deals. So, sorry.
Oh yeah, by the way, for the sake of everyone who failed the saving throw, so Rhea, you just talked about her making deals, and you don't have any trouble. But anyone who wants to discuss the fact that she makes deals and takes things in exchange for the information, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
You
So
you
I
don't have
assume-
the ability to.
I assume
You don't
Gil
have-
and Herrick are the main two.
Well,
17
yeah,
make
Gil
it,
and
or
Herrick. No,
Okay, so
that
Hecate
doesn't
cannot
beat her
either.
DC.
So
So
only I and
I can divulge the information about the way she operates, and she's not gonna be angry if I does. I didn't drink, so she's clear. But anyone else, if you want to like you want to start talking with Rhea about like what happened, then you're incapable of speaking about the fact that she requires a price for information.
specifically the details, yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can tell. You can say like she requires a price, but like any details on what kind of things she would ask for, it's not something you can discuss.
Mm-hmm. Gil's not gonna get into it at the moment, so he's not gonna figure out quite yet.
I mean, Herrick just had a nice, warm cup of coffee. He didn't give anything up, really, in this. And he got a very interesting piece of information, so...
Yeah.
Honestly,
Oh, yeah.
satisfied right now.
Speaking of that, sounds like you might have, what, a great step-uncle?
You know, I really thought being out here in the fucking Fell Empire, I'd be away from family drama. And instead, I've just gone and dug more up.
I mean, to be fair, sounds like this Verden also came here to avoid that drama, so might be able to use it to our advantage, like Margaret was saying.
Maybe.
You know, it's funny I don't want to take too much time away from the stream, but it is funny that possibly the most powerful individual you've met in this campaign, except maybe the Great Worms, is just an old woman named Margaret. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna basically continue as far northwest as we can, or not northwest, southwest.
Oh yeah. Also,
Southwest. We're not going
All the
northwest.
way.
Wrong way.
We're not going back.
northwest.
Gil
You go
starts
back
heading
into the river.
northwest.
Got that guilt. No.
You go back
no.
up. You traverse
Wrong.
the river.
What? Oh, right.
It's down by the river, not across the river.
What? You don't want to cross again?
If I'm going to cross it, I want to not be dragged across it.
So you're
He's
going
actually got decent
south-southwest, I
survival as
think.
well. He's probably just distracted.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as I'm aware, you're going south-southwest. That's where you want to go. To be like in this area over.
I mean, we're just gonna generally walk in the direction. I assume once we get close enough, we're gonna start seeing signs of the lair.
Yep. Okay, so you begin to make your way through the
Fellhaven
swamp. And immediately you realize that there might have been a bit of a misunderstanding. The hag is able to navigate this terrain quite easily, so for her,
It's about a
one day of travel is for you, it might take perhaps a bit more, especially since you're already past, like, if you'd started early in the morning, you might have made it in a day. But you've already kind of like done a lot of walking today, so you're not going to be able to get in there tonight. So I'm going to ask, where are you going to try to find a place where you can rest? Because like the
Does Hecate still
the
have
spell
tiny hut?
that tiny hut is like, it's a spell. It works, but also like it lasts 8 hours, and if you wake up and there are spiders swarming around your tiny hut, you're gonna have to fight them as you get up, because you can make the dome opaque, but you can't really make it so that the dome, like if the hunter is hunting by smell, it's either the smell goes through the dome or the air inside the dome is limited. Then if there's, that makes no sense. So there is exchange of air that's going through the dome, so they'd be able to smell you. So I'm kind of like, if you're in the middle of a giant spider swamp, maybe it would be better to find a specific place where you want to hide. Or you can just find a clearing, sleep there, and deal with the consequences in the morning. I'm not gonna fuck you up.
I mean,
I'm just gonna
I don't
stop you.
know about the rest of the party, but Herrick would really appreciate a decently dry spot at the very least.
I think you could
Okay.
actually make it dry with tiny hut, if I remember correctly. Tony, are you actually here?
Yeah, Tiny Hut does allow
here.
you to change the. Well, you can click the spell. It will
Yeah.
be more than what I remember.
So we are wanting the tiny hut.
I mean, might as well check it.
Well, even if you find a nice place, you can still put the tiny hut up. It's just putting the tiny hut up in the
Atmosphere
open
inside
might
of this space is
attract
comfortable and dry, regardless of the weather outside.
things. Yep.
So yeah, if you cast it in a swamp, it'll be dry enough that it won't be completely marsh-like inside the dome, at the very least.
I also need to like air my equipment out
Mm.
and wet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say, and
So
if I remember right, Tish couldn't go in the hut last time.
No.
Yeah,
or-
Tish is too big
T-
to go in.
Large-
Yeah,
large
Tish is
creatures
large
cannot.
creature.
Yeah,
So it has to
might
be.
want somewhere dry
So-
anyway for Tish.
Yeah, and also I just thought about it. If you're like in the middle of nowhere as a big dome and Tish is outside, and this is the swamp, it's possible that Tish gets attacked in the night, and
I mean, we're gonna run that risk regardless of where we camp out. So like, we'll look for a
no. But if you find like a cave or a big tree, you
yeah,
can hide
because
around.
caves notoriously have no spiders inside Warboss, as we've established.
I mean, you can find a cave, and I'm not gonna make you kill CR1 giant spiders. I'm gonna say if you choose to clear out the cave, you'll clear out the cave.
I mean, either way, we'll look for a actual like secluded clearing or something
Right.
that gives us some
You
cover.
find-
But like, other than that, yeah, we're gonna just use.
You find this like section in the night where there's like this old gnarled tree that's not like all the other most of the trees are like verdant and lush, but there's kind of like this old gnarled tree that you could words that isn't coming shelter into.
That'll work. Pop
Give
the
me a
tiny hut up.
second. Okay. And I'm just going to click activate. There we go. So you find like this gnarled tree.
Can't see anything.
Just kind
Don't
of-
have token down.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. I set it to like no token vision and then it changed.
There you
There
go.
we go.
Hey.
So you find like this weird tree that seems to be like set up for people to sleep in.
Mm-hmm.
There's like non-perishables inside. There's a couple of there's something reminiscent of a chimney with like a hearth where you can put some wood to warm the place. It's kind of like a little cache. I'm looking for the word, but I can't find it.
Lodge kind of vibe.
Kind of like kind of lodge that's meant for explorers so that they can just kind of settle down.
Little base camp kind of vibe.
Kind of.
Yeah.
The inside is quite a bit larger than it seems from the outside. Not sure if it's magical or if just that it just kind of illusionary type deal, or maybe it's just that the it goes a bit deep. It's not clear. Not to a level where it's like twice as large or anything. It's just a bit. It looks a bit larger from the inside. Are you gonna set up a watch?
I mean, set up a tiny hut at the very least. Find a place for Tish to kind of settle down. Probably inside, actually. We'd probably not keep the actual inside of the building in the tiny hut.
I have a feeling that what you could do is just kind of set up a feedback for Tish so she doesn't get hungry, and just kind of like block the entrance of this hovel
Yep.
with the tiny hut so that anything inside is good. And there's enough place for Tish on the inside to move around a bit.
Perfect. That'll work then, yeah.
All right. I want someone to roll a D100 for luck.
I mean, if I roll, I'll just get 100.
Okay, 57. So, Tony, nothing horrible.
They would take nothing horrible.
Yeah, just 57 spiders. That's fine.
Oh God.
No more spiders.
I mean, as long as
hopefully.
it's not 57 bitch ass spiders.
No, that would be
really unfortunate.
Fucking infestation is what that would be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sorry guys, but we're gonna have to burn down the swamp.
Well, shit.
This angers Shrek. Now we have an ogre pursuing us across the land on our quest.
Man, if
Oh,
only
no.
had
okay.
if only someone had wait, no, that's trolls. Who's it ogres to? I don't remember. Either way, fire.
Yeah, you remember from the first movie when he just like licked his fingers and just like put the torch out? That's not gonna work, Herb.
You right. You right.
All right. I'm going to configure this because I'm realizing it's not very clear. Okay. I'll configure. Okay, that's clear enough. All right. So, okay. All right. So, as I asked, are you going to set up a watch anyway, or is it going to be more of a you have a tiny hut, so you're good, and you leave it to fate?
I mean, Herrick doesn't really trust anything out here.
Understandably.
And I mean, like, he doesn't sleep very well anyways, so...
Ray was kind of thinking of keeping
Alright.
an eye out at some point anyway, so she can take a watch before or after him. Whatever you want to do.
Okay. So I guess Herrick is going to watch during one of the shifts, and everyone else is going to do nothing and trust the tiny hut.
Well, sounds like Herrick and Rhea.
Yeah, I don't trust the hut.
Yeah.
This is like... I haven't been in the swamp very much. I like to make sure people are safe.
All
It is
right,
part
so
of my
that's
job.
good.
So I guess Herrick
Okay.
first, then Rhea.
Eric first.
All right. Perception.
Yeah.
Hacha.
Pretty good.
By Herrick standards, that's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Pretty good, I'd say, before
14.
realizing you had no bonus.
Yup. Everything wisdom is just a straight fucking roll for me.
Okay, so you see some weird ghost-like creatures, like passing through and fro around your place. Yeah, whenever you see like you see these weird like ghost-like creatures. Not always ghosts. Some of them look more like zombies, but then they look like ghosts again. It's not very clear what they are. But yeah, you see them just kind of hanging around your spot. They don't seem to notice you though.
Could I roll to figure out what they are?
Yeah, sure.
What would that be?
Probably an arcana because these are undead. If they were monsters or stuff, I could maybe do nature. But for undead, I'd say arcana or religion would both work, I guess.
I do have religion. And thanks to Eldritch Hunter, since I am using something that I'm proficient in, I can double my proficiency bonus.
Nice.
Nice.
That would be... So our proficiency is a +3 right now, right? So I'll add an additional 3. Oh, dang.
Damn.
27.
27. Okay. Give me a second. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm correct. Just give me a second. I want to be sure I'm not saying something stupid before I say something stupid.
Only now?
Okay, well, I mean, I guess if you want to know more about these creatures, go open your Steinhardt book and go to Geist, and you'll have all you need to know about it. Because I probably have less information about these creatures than you do. I'm just using your supplement.
Geist. Actually, what page is that in Steinhardt's? Let me consult the
What I know about Geists is that they're kind of undead that can switch between corporeal and incorporeal. While they're incorporeal, they're essentially essentially wraiths, and while they're corporeal, they're essentially zombies. and they can just kind of switch as a bonus action on a dime while they're they have different attacks depending on if they're ghostly or substantial, and yeah, they also have different resistances depending on if they're if they're ghosts, they have resistance against like weapons, and if they're corporeal, they don't.
Geist are two souls intertwined in a solemn dance of despair and suffering. Created by the will of a great one, these souls, ripped from fallen bodies, now do their creator's bidding without judgment or rationale. While their appearance differs from typical ghosts, they too glide through the air with the same eerie motions as their undead brethren. Their form twists and changes, capable of resisting even the blows of magical weapons. Their existence is the reason why most hunters carry plain steel weapons as backup.
All right. So, yeah, that's about it. That's about as what I know about this situation. And
Pain in the
that's
ass
what
is what
you
I'm
see.
hearing.
Pain in the ass? What are you talking about?
Yeah, so you just kind of like take like a zombie and a ghost, you mash them together into the same form, and they can just kind of change that at will. It's fine,
Yeah.
probably. They're not paying attention to us currently.
Currently not paying attention to you.
Should
And
be safe
maybe
in the dome, but not so much the building.
All right. Well, I mean, they don't seem to have noticed anything. As the night goes on, these creatures are just kind of floating about, as described by our wonderful player who has the book. Then it's Rhea's turn for her turn at the rest looking thing. At the watch. My brain, sorry, I'm a bit tired. Yeah, it's your turn to stay and look around. So I'm going to have you roll another D100 and then see what goes on.
Okay.
And I'm also going to roll a... Oh.
I don't. That didn't sound okay. It's fine. That's probably fine.
Oh boy, 99.
Just gonna.
That's one away from the worst possible.
Great.
You're like,
And it's
you're
not
trying
even
to
Gil's
roll-
fault this time.
It's kind of like, try not to roll high. 99 out of 100. Okay. Okay, so you see like these, how do I describe this thing? Jesus. Okay.
Is it another Steinhardt's full?
Yes, no, both, kind of. Okay, so first you see these weird, like, tiny lights, and you're not dumb, and you live in this place, so you can immediately identify a will-o-wisp. There are a few will-o-wisps just kind of floating about, but then you see this large creature, green skinned, muscled, with like the skin taut on their flesh and bones. They have this weird, like almost reptilian face that's discolored and white compared and whitish gray compared to their green skin, with two sets of eyes and a kind of ridge on their face. Is there a way for me to like share the image of a creature? Wonder how do I show players, I guess. Tell me if that works. Show Did that work?
Don't think so.
Okay. I don't know what that did then. Um, okay, so I don't know how to do this. I don't know why it's supposed to be easy, but decided it was not for some reason. Um, okay, so Herrick just was about to go to bed, and that creature you don't know about, but he probably told you about the things he saw outside. So he's still like about to go to sleep. So if you want to ask for his opinion on what that thing is, you can try because you rolled 27 and that would carry over. Otherwise, you can roll on yourself and you can probably roll with advantage. Same thing, a religion check or an arcana, whichever you prefer.
I'm just gonna go creep over to where Herrick is like getting ready, like getting to sleep, and just like shake his arm. Herrick,
Something up.
um, that I don't. Okay, this is rare for me. Do you know what that thing is? And should we be worried?
Right. So, Herrick, since it's your book, how about you give me some information on a wisp liege?
Will-o-wisps are capricious sprites that delight in misleading the unwary, guiding them from the security of trodden paths and into the perilous embrace of the wilderness. Yet, when forests brim with hatred, a strange phenomenon occurs. This collective animosity converges, taking form into a singular, more potent entity known as a wisp liege, an embodiment of the wisp's evil spirits. Such monsters dwell within the forests surrounding the Harna. It was as if the dark magic unleashed in a conflict had infused the land itself, altering its essence. The Wisp Liege reigns over its lesser kin, its malevolent influence turning their harmless pranks into malefic acts. Under the Liege's rule, the Wisp's misdirections grow vicious and calculated. No longer are they merely content in leading travelers astray. They now revel in their ensuing demise, echoing the darkness within their sovereign.
So not great.
So usually you would think if you had rolled poorly, what I would have said was that will-o-wisp are not something to be really worried about. They're more like trickster spirits than anything else. They usually don't cause much issue. But with a wisp liege around, that changes things. Will-o-wisps are going to be more aggressive, be violent, and considering the fact that the wisp liege is just kind of approaching the edge of your dome and just kind of sniffing at it and pawing at it, you can guess that probably noticed something weird was going on. And yeah, so that's the thing. That's happening. And when you're either gonna have to find a way to get rid of these things before the night is over, or you're probably going to have to deal with them when everyone wakes up.
Shit.
Yeah, that could be a bit problematic.
They're not very hard to hit, and they don't necessarily have like you guys have fought like people in armor and stuff. These are like creatures and zombies. So usually you're not gonna have as hard a time to like get a hit on them, but they are getting numerous. And now that like the wisp liege has been kind of pawing at your dome, I'm gonna move him over here. The geists seem to be to have gone from just kind of floating about to paying attention. And yeah, that's about what happens in your during your rest. So Herrick tells you what he knows about this, and now it's time for you to roleplay if you wish, or just say fuck.
Fuck. Okay. That's not great. We have a few hours left before this goes away and everyone wakes up. And everyone rises slowly. This is not gonna be good.
Asmodeus, who is, or Az, sorry, I never say his full name. Az, who is
How dare you
like,
use his government name?
how dare I use his government name? Az, who's like floating about in the treehouse, looks out and says, I would suggest that you make sure everyone is awake when the dome goes down in 4.5 hours. It's probably not a good idea to be asleep when it goes down, considering what's outside.
Not really. Maybe I'll get bored in 4.5 hours, right? I don't think we're that lucky.
It's kind of maybe they'll get bored, and then from the other side of the dome you hear.
Thank you, War Boss. That just what the actual fuck was that? Here I am lying in bed with my wireless headphones, just listening to this, and what the actual fuck was that?
Certainly woke Sai up, that's for sure.
No, I've been awake this whole time. My headache is abysmal right now.
I'm sorry, did I fuck with your headache a little bit?
No.
It's okay, it's good.
But I do want to go on record and say, I, as an elf, she probably will wake up soon.
Yeah, it's been about 2 hours with
Yeah.
2 rests done, so 4 hours.
With
for
2
trance.
rests done, with you're done with your trance, so you wake up and you see what's outside, and this weird like undead atrocity just kind of eyeing at your dome for you guys. And I mean, I'm gonna say, even though they know there's something, so what I'm gonna do is, I know that Sai has a headache right now, and we've been going for, well, we haven't been going for a very long time. We've been going for about 2 hours.
sorry again.
But we started late, and it's not that big a deal. And what I think we're going to do is, I'm going to send you to this map.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, cool.
I'm going to move him back a little, and I'm going to say that you can set your characters in this area over here. And I'm going to roll initiative for all my big monsters. But I'm going to say that I'm going to roll them all with disadvantage. Well, it didn't let me roll with disadvantage. Fuck. Okay, well, we're going to use... you know what? We're going to use 2014 rules for the surprise round instead of just giving them disadvantage. So, for the sake of this, considering that you have time to get ready for the combat and you're the ones who will drop the dome when the time comes, and you'll be ready, I'm going to say that you're going to have a surprise round next session, and I'm going to make sure there we go. Surprise round! So it's gonna remember.
All right, then that's where we're wrapping things today.
Yep, that's where we're wrapping. Short session today, but still interesting. I hope it was fun to deal with the hag a little. Yeah, we're gonna start next session with a little bit of combat, a little fun. do you want Sai, do you want me to put you down, or are you going to walk back to your computer?
Put me down. Both ways.
You want to be like next to
probably gonna-
Gil
You're
in
gonna
the
need to
front
put
line.
Hecate down as well. Probably
I'm not
in the back.
front lines. Fuck that. No.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, Hecate and I in the back. That'll work.
Okay. That's good. And yeah, that's great. I'm going to start. I'm going to try to start dropping some Steinhardt creatures for funsies. And when we do, I'm probably going to do the same thing I did today, which is ask the owner of the Steinhardt document to grant us a few colorful descriptions of these monsters that we've waited so long to be able to run.
This is my first
officially.
time seeing some of those tokens. That is very fun indeed.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, do they have
What, different states for the different phases, or?
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
It's been a hot minute, but I think it's usually a drop down in the settings. God, I don't remember.
It's not
It's
that
been
big a
hot minute.
deal. We don't need to have them be like. I guess I'll find like a condition to add to the sheet when they're incorporeal or whatever. I think there's even one.
This is stuff we can talk about off stream. Anyways, thank you all so very much for stopping by. Take care of yourselves, and we'll catch you in the next session.
Bye bye.
Oh, I forgot they had a little